Mauritius has a very diverse plant community with 691 plant species, out of which 40% are endemic, which means they are only found in Mauritius and not anywhere else. However, Mauritius has one of the most threatened flora in the world, with approximately 2% of native original forest left as a result of past habitat destruction for agriculture and settlement. The native plant communities left is very fragmented and scattered across the island and some of the islets. In addition, more than 80% of the plant species are threatened with extinction. One of the major current threats affecting our remaining native forests is exotic and alien species. That is, species not originally from Mauritius, but introduced from elsewhere, either intentionally or unintentionally. Some of these exotic species, especially plants, are invading and degrading our remaining forests and natural habitats. Examples of such invasives are Goyave de Chine, which is from Brazil, and Ravenal from Madagascar. Exotic plants are very adaptable. They grow fast, produce lots of seeds, and thus compete with our endemic plants for space and resources. They are taking over our remaining native forests at an alarming rate and driving some of our unique plant species to extinction. Restoring our native plant communities is crucial to safeguard what is left, but also prevent some of our species from going extinct. The most common restoration method is the removal and control of invasive plants and replanting natives in larger gaps. This method has proved to be very effective. Weeded areas have more native and endemic plant species and in greater numbers as a result of a boost in natural regeneration. Freed from competition, the natives also grow better and produce more fruits as well, which benefits the endemic animals which depends on them. To note, restoration is a very labor and resource intensive activity, and it is a long-term process as maintenance weeding is needed over time to improve the effectiveness of the restoration. At the Mauritian Wildlife Foundation, we have been spending more than 3 decades restoring native plant communities on islets, such as Round Island and Île-aux-Secrètes, on the mainland Mauritius, for example, Montagne Reserve, and in Rodrigues, such as Grande Montagne and Anskitor. We have also been supporting many private landowners to restore their land. We have developed, experimented, and implemented various restoration techniques over time, with lots of successes, but lots of lessons learned as well. In nature, plants and animals are deeply connected, a bit like an intricate spider web. Lots of plants depend on animals for pollination and to disperse their fruits, while most animals depend directly or indirectly on plants for food and shelter. When an ecosystem gets degraded, some of these important links disappear or weaken, and thus impacting on the proper functioning of the ecosystem. Through our reptile and bird program, the Mauritian Wildlife Foundation, with collaboration from local and international partners, have been reintroducing endemic reptiles and birds to places where they once occurred, and thus contributing to the restoration of the whole ecosystem. These reintroductions also benefits the threatened endemic animals by increasing their abundance and distribution, and thus decreasing their extinction risk. Restoring our remaining plant communities is and will remain one of the most important endeavors to safeguard the Mauritian biodiversity, and also for the long-term survival of all those species unique to our island.